Morning, friends and family and compatriots. David Rose here from the Living Tarot. Here on my bus, Lolita, in Denver at the Circus Collective. Got up really early this morning and actually went to bed early for the first time in quite a long time. And in my morning meditation, which is all really new to me. I don't want anybody to think that I am Mr. Super Spiritual yes, his whole life. Actually, it's not true. I think I've been challenged my whole life having a regular ritual, or rituals, I should say, which is kind of what the subject of the question is today, because it came to me during my meditation. It's really just been since September that I've had a morning practice, really at all. My morning practice in the past was get up, go to Summer Moon Coffee, have coffee, head off to work. Work. Like, work was my only meditation. And I was really good at it. But over time, it just dragged me down, because it's not enough. Work is not enough. Even now, my work technically is the Living Tarot, but I'm seeing that my work is actually much more internal and much more personal than that. The Living Tarot is how I show up to the world in a lot of instances. It's how it's going to be how I make my living. I don't think it's filling that bill yet, but I have faith and I have trust, and I feel it feels right. And when I was recognizing today, what came to me was that I'm really good at the big things. Like, I can produce a show, or I can build a house, or I can do a remodel, or in the past I could do, when I did theater, and light a show or design a set. Very, very goal oriented, like deadline. Man, I mean, I'm good at that. Like, there is a show on Friday and I'm going to be ready for that. And in between, my life kind of gets thrown into disarray. It's like chaos here and chaos there, and running around here, and my partner's been very good about reminding me to slow down, and reminding me to shut up sometimes. And it's true. I have a mind that just goes. It's a gift, and it's a curse. It's a gift because I can get things done. I am what some might call a functional hippie. I have a very alternative lifestyle, and yet I can actually show up on time, do what I say I'm going to do, get it done, think creatively around it. But I'm not so good about doing that in my personal life. Not enough time for reflection, I think, has led me into a lot of things that later I think, I wonder why I kept that going so long. Wonder why I let that pattern last so long. So I'm in a stage now of really recreating myself, and I'm going to encourage all of you to recreate yourself. You may be exactly where you want to be and everything's going great, but I have a feeling there's a thing or two, an area or two that you're not. And what had come to me today was about ritual. I do a ritual. The Living Tarot is, I call it a show because if I just said Living Tarot, the ritual, I think that there might be a good percentage of people that are like, too hippie for me, or too, maybe non-Christian enough, or I don't know. So maybe I'm reclaiming that. Maybe I'm reclaiming ritual in my life, and for those around me. I've been really happy in Denver. The community here, the ecstatic dance and circus community, they're very they really do a lot of things together. They create large rituals, and I've really appreciated that, because that is what I want. That's what I seek, because rituals solidify the esoteric anyway. They solidify what we want them to solidify in our life. So my question today is, how can I create more ritual in my day-to-day life? Yeah, how can I do that? How can we do that? How can we ritualize the things that are meaningful to us, so that they're more powerful and they're more, they have more, they create a base in us that is solid and that is less prone to the whims of our busy days, that no matter what, we can do these rituals. So that is my question today for me and for us. I haven't done that before. I'm just really drawn to the final card, and then my mind said, well, you need the first card, and then you need the card in the middle. Like a beginning, middle, and end, but not in that order. It was the end, the beginning, and the middle. So sometimes you just go with what it feels like. Okay. For the challenge, we have the Hierophant. You know, the Rider-Waite deck is very traditional. Don't take it personal if you're not Christian, or, it shows basically a Pope, style person. It's got all the accoutrements. There's a couple of shaved-headed acolytes. I forget what they call them. He's showing that almost the sign of St. Michael, how I learned it. There's a lot of elements in here, now that I'm looking at it. I haven't looked at him so closely, that he's got a 3-barred scepter that I have seen in Brazil, in an ayahuasca church in a place called Fortaleza, and they use a 3-barred cross. Wow, can't believe I'd never noticed that. And the position of the action, the Hermit in the position of the action, that says a lot right there. Yeah. Okay. And the position of the transformation, we have the Emperor. Yep. Could almost guess that he was showing up. So the Hierophant, gosh, I mean, the Hierophant is ritual when you think about it. When you think about, he is the ceremony. He's the leader of the, in the traditional sense, the leader of the church, of the ritual. But most importantly, the Hierophant the Hierophant is not a he or she. In the card, it's a he. Hierophant is our own spiritual connection to the divine, whatever you want to call the divine, whatever you want to call Great Spirit, what do you want to call Christ or Buddha or Allah. That is not the important part. Like in the Living Tarot, I'm a highly spiritual person, but I am not a religious person. I have been a part of religions. I grew up Protestant, and I got away from that um, so fast after I graduated from high school, because to me it didn't mean anything. It was something that was forced upon me. Later, doing some really incredible deep rituals, I rediscovered the archetypes of Christianity, and those became powerful in my life in a real way, because they came into my body in a real way. They came into my sphere naturally and without force, and they were beautiful. And so I acknowledge that I am a mystic Christian. I'm also a pagan, and I'm kind of moving a little into Buddhism with a lot of my meditations now. So I'm finding some richness in that. So maybe to some degree that's my challenge, is I have to find a ritual. I don't have to, I'm choosing to really create something that helps represent the richness, the tapestry of what I believe. You can believe in one thing, it matters not, but let us, in our challenge, find the richness of that, the little things that are meaningful to us, like what is meaningful in that, what is meaningful to me, and how can I symbolize that in, for one, an altar. Like, I'm realizing I haven't really, on my bus, I've got an altar by the front door, but it was kind of hastily put together as a little protector, and I can see that I don't really give it much thought, and it's some keys now in it and other things where it's kind of become a catch-all. But I realize, like, in my bedroom, I don't have an altar, and I think it's time to create my connection in a more symbolic way, that we can all connect to the divine. That's really what it's all about. Like, our connection with the divine is what we're creating ritual to do. It's what we are working to manifest, is to be the spiritual beings that we are. We come from the cosmos. We are divine creatures of God. And sometimes it sure does seem like we don't act like it. So I'm committing to acting like it more by creating more introspection, which of course leads to the hermit. I'm a highly independent person, and sometimes I do a lot of stuff alone, and but I'm not always consciously doing it alone. I'm not consciously going in to the deeper parts of myself. So a lot of times that solo time that I think is so solo, it's really me and my work. Yesterday I spent 5 hours by myself putting solar panels up. Found it highly rewarding. Good physical work, mental work, really had to think through things. But that's not enough. And I've realized that for me, the Living Tarot has been providing the enough, because the show is so rewarding on a deep inner heart level. But that for me, for my own advancement, for our own advancement as a human species and as individuals, to me it feels like we need more than that. We have to have more than that. And this world is so gully. This world is so busy. And sometimes I know I get really overwhelmed by it. You'd think that I'm out there in the world crying every day. it's really more when I just think and when I talk, when I access these energies, and all of a sudden I'll have this flash of these missing, like something that's missing in my life. And I think that part that's missing for me more than anything is really conscious time with myself and my heart. So I'm going to encourage everybody. I'm going to encourage myself first, but I'm going to encourage you all to make time to make a video. I mean, God, I'm really finding this to be quite extraordinary. And even if nobody ever sees this, it's enough, because it's making in me, creating change. And that change is going to manifest with the structure in my life. That's the transformation, is the structure of my life is going to support me. The Emperor is all about structure. He's all about creating the definition of what's important to us. So let us all find a way to ritualize and create what's important in this world, which is, first of all, the deepest connection to ourself, and in our loving ourselves, finding that connection to God, and finding a way to manifest that in our daily life, in our daily environment. So thank you so much. Go to livingtarot.org. Check out my upcoming shows. If you're in Denver, Boulder area, keep an eye on it. Go to my Facebook page, Living Tarot. Subscribe or like it. Share it with your friends. Same with my YouTube channel. Subscribe. Eventually I can be able to do that live. I'm making peace with social media. So I'm telling you about it. Let's do it. Let's get on social media and change that for the better, because of what we're posting, because what we're putting out there, and how we're sharing. So thank you very much, and love you all very much. Bye.